All right. So, um, last Monday, we should have, uh, we should have, just go. We should have our calculus, no? Now, we have this session for calculus that Monday, but due to the typhoon, we have this recording video. About that of Kamha, please don't let me call your attention once and again, ha. You already have this kind of situation since the first week of our class. And what is happening right now? Okay? Alright, so as I'm telling, our POD is randomly checking the Google Meet, the classroom, for those students who are not abiding the rules in our schools. And for the class that we have in our calculus that Monday, we have our video recording. No? So who among you watched the video? Alright, so I just saw two students who commented, no? And for those students who are not yet commenting, please do abide. Because that is your requirement in order for us to proceed to our next topic. And maybe you'll get shocked. You will get shocked. Why are we discussing this kind of things? And how did we get the slope? How did we get this line? Hmm. Okay. All right. So before we proceed to our discussion, let us have this short opening prayer. All right. So would you mind to lead the prayer, Maria Ana Regina? Gera.
Yes, the Father and Son of the Holy Spirit. Almighty Father, we praise and thank you for this day. Watch over us as we go about our works and studies. Help us in every way so that we may become children you want us to be. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
All right. So thank you for that one, Regina. All right. So last time we discussed this line. You know, what's a line? Okay. So to go back or just to review what are the topics we discussed in our video recording lessons, because most of the teachers gave a video recording lessons, no, because of the typhoon. And if not, that's their problem, and it's not the problem of our subject. Now, for the review, we have discussed about the line. So what is the line? It is the set of points forming a straight path on a line. All right. So there is also slant slope that is called. Okay. And also a line could be found on a Cartesian plane. All right. Which can be called as linear equation. All right. So also we defined linear equation as a no a ax plus by minus c, okay, is equal to 0. So we call that as linear equation. So in that form, we call that one as general form or standard form. Okay po? Alright, general form or standard form. Alright, so A and B is our integers. Okay po? Alright. So the graph will be straight line. That is what we call general form. We are just having a review, ha? Maybe you got shocked about ang bilis natin. Alright, so definition of linear equation. Equation describes all the lines, points in the lines. Alright, so these are the ordered pairs that we have, and also the slopes. Okay, we have the slopes. Knowing what are the slopes, okay, what are the slopes? We have the point 1 and point 2. Alright, so we have slope, which is rise over run. Okay, rise over 1, or we could say it is change in y or change in x. So we could say that change in y is delta y and change in x is delta x. Alright, so it is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 and x sub 2 minus x sub 1. I would like to highlight with regards to our long quiz in calculus. Now, there are some students in increments. I just don't know what happened. No? In increments, in delta y, in delta x, it always starts with sub 2. Okay, sub 2. X sub 2, y sub 2, then you subtract by v sub 1. For the first points, x sub 1 and y sub 1. Okay? The first points that we are going to have is the y sub 2 minus y sub 1, then x sub 2 minus x sub 1. That's it, ha? Hindi po nauna ang x sub 1 or y sub 1. Kasi naawa ko, lahat yun mali. Buti nagbibigay ako ng considerations. Pero huwag kayong umasa doon. Kasi ang 4 points, 10% yan ng totality ng 40. Oh. Okay. Now, you know that this is the formula of a slope. Okay? Alright. By the way, with regards to the exam, there might be some what do you call this one? Some expression. For example, in calculus or in advanced math, you might see, isn't it in ratio, then what do you call this one? The exponent is n minus 1. This is what you can type in. I did chat on the comment section. Kindly check on it. So this is what you call r raised to n minus 1. So the exponent of r is that n minus 1. So how about y sub 1, x sub 1, or a sub 1? So you will be seeing such forms like this po. Okay? A underscore 1. Okay po? A underscore 1. That is a sub 1 po. If x sub 1, x underscore 1. Okay? Nakaintindihan? Alright. So now, we have the slopes, we have the formula. Okay? This is our guard, no? In our denominator. And also, we plotted them, no? So this is your coordinates. Okay? Then there is your slope. So how are we going to know how are you going to identify if the slope is correct? So by having the rise over run. So negative, your rise is your y-axis, and your x is your run. So 1, 2, 1, 2, right? All right, so we also calculate the slope. Using this one. We represent m as your slope. Okay, and we substitute all the given from the formula. All right, so then we have 1/2. All right, so we'll also find these slopes, no? Okay. Okay. In order for us to know what are the slopes, no, we depends on the points starting from the left to the right. So nauuna tong si point na to, 3 and 9, then second si 5 and negative 2, then 11 and 2, right? So you could determine which is first point. Okay? Ang pagbasa left to right. Okay? Alright. So we also find the slopes between these points. Okay? And we determine the different what do you call this one? The difference between the two slopes, because we have the slopes which has 0 in numerator and denominator. Po? And we defined, we identified that when the slope is vertical, you could say that it is undefined, and when the slope is horizontal, then the line is 0. Okay po? Now, um, now we are done. Maybe you are getting shocked, ha, for those who weren't able to watch the recorded video lesson, and you will not be able to get our lesson for today. All right. So for this one, please wait. All right. All right. So again, once again, good afternoon. So for this one, after we discuss about the slopes, no? After we discuss about the slopes and the line, we are now going to tackle about the parallel and perpendicular lines or the slopes. All right. Slopes of parallel lines. If we say parallel, what comes into your mind? Ibig sabihin, parehas sila. So they are just the same line. So equal line 1 and line 2. So how is that one? So we have this first line and second line. Oh, no. So there are two lines with the same slope are parallel. Ibig sabihin, magkaparehas. Kung yung isa is 45 degrees, yung isa rin 45 degrees, nasa ibang pwesto lang. Kumbaga parallel sila. Gets? Alright. So, two parallel lines have the same slope. So, ibig sabihin, slope nila parehas lang talaga. Nasa ibang position lang. Okay? Now, for example, having this line, are the two lines are parallel. Through line 1, the line 1 is negative 2 and 1 and 4 and 5. Then the coordinates of the line 2 is 3, 0, and the point 2 is 0 and negative 2. All right, so let us try to have the slope of these two lines. What is the slope of two lines? What is the formula of the two lines? So the formula is m is equal to delta y over delta x. What is the formula of delta y? Y sub 2 minus y sub 1. So what is a y sub 2? Ito po ang y sub 2. No? Y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Tama? Alright, so having substitution, you could clearly see that we have 4 over 6. Okay? Now, this is your line 1 or slope 1. That is M1. No? Okay po? Now, how about, we could also say that in lowest term, it is 2/3. No? So, how about the line 2? How about the line 2? Is it the same or not? If we get the final answer, this is your y sub 2 minus y sub 1. It is delta x. This is your formula. M is equal to delta y over delta x. Delta y is y sub 1, y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Well, over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Alright, so substituting all givens will form as 2/3. So, are they parallel or not? They are parallel because they have the same slope. Okay po? Alright. So, as you can see, in the line 1 and line 2, the line 1 and line 2 have different position po. No, so iba yung coordinates, magkaiba silang coordinates. But their slope is just the same. So we could say that they are parallel and we could input or pwede nating isulat in the form of this uh, expression po, no? So these three lines, can anybody from this class tell me what is this sign? The three dotted. Hmm. Can anybody from this line, from this section, can tell me what is that three dotted? This is a trivia, ha? All right, so I guess you don't know. All right, so if we saw this kind of three dotted pyramid, so we could say that it is therefore. We could say that therefore. Ibig sabihin ng three dotted, therefore yan, okay? Alright, so parang final answer. Instead of saying the final answer is, we could simply put three dot, then therefore the answer is line 1 and line 2 is parallel. So if you saw symbol like this, they are parallel po. Okay po? Yan ulitin ko. For example, yes, sir, therefore, yes, therefore. Okay? It's like we used to have the statement, the final answer is, di ba ganun tayo? Tapos yung answer. But in some cases, we could simply put triangle or yung three dotted, no? Therefore, answer is the then statement, like that one. Okay? That's it. Okay. So, also this sign symbolizes as the lines are parallel. Dalawang linya ha, parallel po yun. Alright. And there you go. So, the symbol means parallel. Gets na po? Alright, so, how about the perpendicular lines or slopes? Alright? So, we have perpendicular slopes as well. So, how are we going to know if the slopes are perpendicular to each others? No? So we have the perpendicular or the slope 1. Okay? So I'll be giving an example for this one now. So a negative 3 over 4. That is your slope 1. And your slope 2 is 4 over 3. What did you notice? Hmm. Oh, what we did is, yes po, sige po. Yes po, Nathaniel, go.
The ano po, the in slope 1 po, it's like po they switch places po.
Mhm. Okay. Oh, what else? Go. Oh, they switch places. In other terms, we could clearly say that that is the inverse. Pag sinabing inverse of uh, m is because if we say inverse, yung kabaligtaran. So, inverse ng M1, dapat inverse ng M1 is yung M2. Ibig sabihin, if we multiply, M1 and M2, they should be equal to negative 1. Sir, hindi ko maintindihan. Paano nagiging, and, magiging negative 1? Alright, so from this one ha, let us remember that M is your rise over run. Tama? Alright. So, we said that yung numerator mo is your rise. Ibig sabihin, y-axis. So, what is your y-axis in your slope number 1? Is it negative, positive? It is negative. So, anong gagawin natin? Tataas tayo, bababa? Bababa. Bakit? Negative eh. Tama? So, we are going down. So, from here, for example, this is your slope number 1 ha. Alright, so from there, that is your slope number 1. So, we are going down 3 times. So, 1, 2, 3. Or maybe you cannot see, no? Oh, here na lang. So, what I will be doing, I would like you to pin my screen. So, let us say that this is your line. This is your line. Is it visible? Not, or not? Not visible? Not visible, no? Alright, so, CD for the meantime, this one. Okay. Alright. So is it visible? Okay. So for example, we have what are the givens? M1, our M1 is negative 3. For example, 1, 2, okay, so it should be equal. If your axis is not equal, you can have differential, what do you call this one? Calculations if you don't have the equal measures. All right. So for example, it is negative 3 over 4. So let's say your point is from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let us just say here 1, 2, 5. Just make it more times. Okay. All right. So is it visible, the small lines? All right. So for example, this one ha. Ayan, steady. Alright, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, then what is the thing? It is from 3. Because you cannot get the slope without a y-intercept. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so let us say that your point first is here. So your slope number 1 is negative 3 over 4. No? So negative 3 over 4. This way. Alright, so negative 3 over 4 ha, negative 3 over 4. Now, if you have negative 3 over 4, you have numerator of negative 3. So, you will be going down 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Dito na yan. Ito na yung point mo, tama? Alright, so if you have negative 3, what are you going to do is to have this point 4 times. Ano yung 4 times? This is your rise over run. Tama? Wait lang ah. Yes. There you go. All right. Rise over run. Can you see still or is it small? All right. So rise over run. Now you will run 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your point now is here. Okay? Alright, so I'll be erasing this one, ha? Alright, so your point is in here. Then you will do the same thing as you do. Negative 3. Uh, 1, 2, 3. Then your run is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your point is here. Next, last point. Negative 3. Go down. 1, 2, 3. Then you run 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your point is here. This point. Okay. This point. And this point. Okay. Maybe you got this one. Okay. Alright. So if you will notice, you have your line already. Okay. That is your slope. Okay. Now, in getting the perpendicular, as you notice, it was said that it is 4 over 3. Now, for example, from your point here, look at this one. All right, so from here, your point, this is your point 1, 2, 3, 4. So let us just base in here. So we could say that it is 4 over 3. Okay, 4 over 3, that is your, this one, 4 over 3, this is your M2. Okay, is it super small? Oh, you can still see. You can still see? All right. So this is your M2. So if we are going to write 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, your point here is here. Okay? Temporary. Then you will run 3 times because it is positive. We're going to the right. So 1, 2, 3. Your point now is here. All right? You have middle point, here, the point in here, no? All right. So from here, we are going to make 1 point. 1 point once again. So now another point is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then run 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So your point is here. Then let's just make another 1 point. From here, we're going to the down, no? So if you are going down or the reverse, let's just take the negatives one. So let us just make this one as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this is your point. So as you see, this is your slope. All right. So from this one, this slope, no, we could see that this point is on, this is the one that we are doing. Um, okay. 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 What else? Here and here. All right. So our point here is negative 7, and positive 3. Our next point is 3, negative 3, and 0. Okay? Then, our next point is 1 and negative 3. 1 and negative 3. Alright? Then, our last point for our line 1 or slope 1 is 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so it is 5 and negative 6. Alright. So I want you to draw this one in your notebook so that you can realize. No, you may realize. All right. So if you are copying what I am noting, no. So how about our line 2 or slope 2? It is on, the first line is, the first point is negative 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Negative 7. The second point is, what's this one? 1 and -3. Our third point is 4 and 1. And our fourth point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 and 5. Alright, so from these coordinates, no, I will be stating try to make our Cartesian plane in your graphing notebook, your math notebook, no. Try to point -7 and 3. That's your first point. Then -3 and 0. Then fourth is 1 and -3. Then fourth one is 5 and -6. That is your for slope number 1. Okay po? Now, this is your for slope number 2. -1 and -7. That is your first point. -1 and -7. Okay? This one. -1 and -7. 1 and -3. Then your third point is 4 and 1. Then your fourth point is 7 and 5. Alright, so I want you to make that one in your notebook. Alright? Alright, so try to make that one. Okay. So if you will notice, did you try to copy the points already? This week, Abigail, may I request for you to write it down in our comment section? The points for line 1. Slope number 1, Can you see? This is -3, 5 and -6. Alright. So our slope number 1, these are the 4 points. Can you see? Can you see? Is it clear?
Sir, I will write po the
Yes, in comment
points of
section.
slope 1.
Yes, these are the points,
Sige po.
slope 1, Carleal, would you mind to comment, type this
Yes,
one
yes,
in
yes, sir.
our comment section? Our slope number 2, This is our point 2. Ay, slope number 2. Okay? Point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4. Okay? Alright. So while they are typing that one, no? So if you will notice, in our graph that we draw, the graph that we draw, and to the graph that I have in my presentation right now, what did you notice? Yes po, yes po. Sige. Once again ayan na, sige. Kapihin. So what did you notice about the points or the lines or the slopes that we have? You will notice that they intersect in one point. Tama? Nag-intersect. Ibig sabihin, they have intersection. Meron silang intersection sa gitna. Tama? Nagbungguan sila. But not, this is, take note of this one not all slopes and not all lines that intersect are perpendicular. Meron tinatawag na parallel, may perpendicular. But we could say, take note of this one 10A. We can clearly say that the two lines or the two slopes are perpendicular to each other if and only if they create a right angle. What is right angle? What is right angle? 90 degrees. Tama? Yes. So, we could clearly say that. Okay po. Okay na po, Carl? How about Abigail? Done already. Alright. So, those are, let me see Alright. Those are the slope 1 and slope 2. Now, if you will try to point that one, you can create a lines that intersect to each other. No. Now, we could clearly state that perpendicular lines intersect with each other and creates a 90 degrees. If you will notice, these are the 90 degrees If I will be drawing here, So this box is in here. Then what else? This box is in here. This box is in here. And this box is in here. So they are 90 degrees. No? Tama po? Okay. So it is clear enough to us that perpendicular lines or perpendicular slopes, when they intersect, they create a 90 degrees. Okay po? Alright. Slopes of perpendicular lines. If neither line is vertical, then the slopes of perpendiculars are negative reciprocal. Right? And also lines with slopes that are negative reciprocals are perpendicular. Alright, so this is the thing that I am saying a while ago. If the product of the two slopes, no, of the slopes of the two lines is negative one, then the lines or the slopes are perpendicular. So we have a consideration for perpendicular slopes if they create 90 degrees, if the product of the two line is negative one, then therefore they are perpendicular. Okay po? Next, horizontal lines are perpendicular to vertical lines. Automatic yan. Pag sinabi natin dito, horizontal, perpendicular siya sa vertical. Tama? Kasi meron 90 degrees eh. Am I right? Then also this one, if we say negative 1, for example, the given a while ago is negative 3 over 4. If we multiply that one with 4 over 3, no? If we multiply that one, we could clearly see that it is like 3 times 4 times 4 times 3. No? No? So we could cancel this one. Cancel, cancel. But the negative sign remains. So therefore, we could clearly have negative 1. Okay po? Alright. And also take note of this one ha. Line with slopes that are negative reciprocals. Ibig sabihin, kabaligtaran. Kung yung isa negative, yung isa positive. Okay? Slopes na yung isa negative, yung isa positive. But take note, the numerator and denominator alternates as well because reciprocal eh. Okay? Negative reciprocals. Alright. So if I will be asking you, what is the negative reciprocals of 5 over 3? The negative reciprocals of that one would be negative 3 over 5. Okay? So, in perpendicular lines, your slope number 1 will be 5 over 3. What if they ask you, what will be the slope number 2 for your slope number 1? Of course, negative 3 over 5. Okay po? Okay. You know how to reciprocal ha? It's like in harmonic sequence. Tinuro ko, nire-reciprocal, tama? But it should be negative. All right, next. Then A. All right. So with parallel, perpendicular, or neither. I write parallel, perpendicular, or neither for the pair of lines that passes through 5, negative 9, and 3, 7, and the line through 0, 2, and 8, 3. All right, so I want that tell me in our comment section if this two lines, if these two slopes are perpendicular or parallel or neither. I want you to type on the comment section, ha? I'll go. I'll be waiting. I'll be giving you 4 minutes with that one. Go. have this realization section that we have in our head. For example, this line or this basis, okay? You have already answer. Really? Galing mo ah. Mind to tell me why it's neither. I just confused your math already. For next the first year of there is no told us that it's secret. Do we have only Nathaniel? Alright. So Kate, Angel Ranyola, neither. Okay, we will be waiting for the others for 1 minute. Okay? We're not yet done. Sige po. Who would like to oppose with the answers of the two? Okay, sige. Neither daw. Alright, so it's neither. Alright, so let us try to look with the presentation itself. Alright? So, we simply look with the formula itself of the slope. What's the formula of the slope? Delta y over delta x. Alright. So we could have 7 minus negative 9. 7 minus negative 9 over 3 minus 5. So we could simply have 16 over 2. Okay? Or we could say that it is simply negative 8. Alright. So how about here? Yan. How about here? Oh, 3 minus 2 all over 8 minus 0. That is the line number 2. That is your line number 2. So in that case, we could have 1 over 8. So are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Identifying these slopes are somewhat bonus if I put this one in your uh, test ha. In your exam, if I did put this super bonus already. So you tell it's neither. Why is it neither? Sige. Unahin natin dun sa Nathaniel, Kate Angel, Denzel. Sige po, Nathaniel. So, ikaw po muna. Would you mind to explain why is it neither? Go.
I have to explain po, sir.
Yes. How did you get? How did you tell? Repeat
Sir,
the part.
it's neither po because it's not parallel or perpendicular. Because out of the gate po, we can see it's not perpendicular because the reciprocal po is not the same.
Mhm.
And then after that, we can tell it's not parallel po because the slope of the M1 and slope 2 po is different po from each other. That's why po it's neither.
Mhm. Sige, that is your answer. Okay. How about Kate Angel Ranyola? Go, Kate. Kate.
Wait,
Yes.
sir, out of nowhere kasi I thought it's perpendicular po.
I'm sorry?
Out of nowhere po when I'm analyzing it, it suddenly became perpendicular po.
It becomes perpendicular. All right. So, okay. So, you change your answer. It becomes perpendicular. How about Denzel?
Same with Nathan po.
Same with Nathan. Okay. Sige po. How about Gab Diteng? Gabriel?
Same with Nathan rin po.
Really, ha? Sige. Gab, may I request to open your camera? Gab, may I request to open your camera? Mm-hmm. Sige po. Sige po. I'll be waiting for your open camera, ha? Sige po. Alright. So, how about Zyril Mambat? Zyril, go.
Same with Nathan also po.
Alright. So, here's the thing. So, we could, alright. So, there you go. So, I may just, out of nowhere, no? Gab, may I just ask, is your sister is Richella?
Yes po.
Okay. I know it already. Okay. Now, um, you said that it is neither, no? So, what we could say that if I will be asking you, what is the reciprocal of M1 and M2? All right? May I ask you, what is the reciprocal of M1 and M2? Di ba? All right, so it's fine, it's fine. So, we could clearly say that in perpendicular, no? The, uh, the negative reciprocals of a slope is that is the answer. For example, you have negative 4. That is the trick, no? We have negative 4. Then in fractions, no, we could have 4 over 1, isn't it? Now, if we are going to have the reciprocal, negative reciprocal, so we will be having negative reciprocal. Negative, then you will reciprocal this one. What's the reciprocal of negative 4 over 1? It will become 1 over 4, but it has negative. So negative to negative, it will become positive. So you have positive 1/4. All right, so that's the case. They are perpendicular. All right, so that is correct. All right, this way, ha. So that is correct. So this way. All right, so that is correct. Okay, that is correct. And also, they said that when we multiplied uh, both lines or both slopes, we could clearly see negative 1. Tama po? Alright, so please wait ha, I'll be checking something. Alright, negative 1. So we could say that M1 or slope 1 and slope 2 or slope 1, when we multiply slope 1 to slope 2, it is equal to negative 1 and therefore, line 1 and line 2 are perpendicular. So in this sign, this sign means perpendicular. Okay ha? Yung etong line is parallel. Gantong sign is perpendicular. Okay? So why is it perpendicular? You can see that there is 90 degrees. Okay po? Alright. Pagka ganito parallel, kasi nga same sila. Ibig sabihin, parehas lang sila long line. Alright? All right. So let us have this equation of a line. All right. So in this equation of the line, I will be, please take note of this one, 10, grade 10. I will be sending a recorded video for you to watch later on. Either later on or by tomorrow. Maybe later on. So that you can have your works already after you watch. Now, for this equation of the line, as long as you know what is perpendicular, this is the thing, this is the thing. As you know the perpendicular, parallel, and slope, it is basic already. Okay? There's the formulas for there is as long as you know the formula of increment, it's fine already. But if if that's the case, you should know still the coordinates, ha. Because I want to highlight in your long quiz, hindi ko pa rin alam bakit nagkakabaliktad. If you are going to grade 10, if you are going to read a coordinate, for example, your point is here, how are you going to read? You are going to read first from your x-axis. X-axis muna. O for example, ang x-axis niyan is nasaan? -3. So, -3 muna. -3 muna ang sulat mo. Okay? Then, saan siya tumapat? Dito, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, 6. Ganyan. Okay? So, this coordinate, this represents as your x-axis and y-axis. Okay? X-intercept, Y-intercept. Okay po? Nagigets? Kasi nangyayari, I don't know. It seems like for the whole set, for the whole answers, I don't know, I don't know. For the whole answers of him, since Cartesian plane, midpoint, what else? I know, no, no. Cartesian plane and midpoint. Yes, midpoint. Lahat mali. Inuuna niya yung y. So, nangyari 6. Then, -3. So, ano yun? All inverted. Okay, I would understand and I will respect what you learned last time. But, in this case, now you learned already. Okay? So, I would like you to correct those mistakes for us to grow. Okay? Naintindihan? Alright. So, once again, as long as you know the coordinates, the increments, okay? Kasi magkakadugtong yan. That's why I'm telling you, all the lessons from quarter 1, it is continuous up to quarter 4. No? So parang isipin mo, ang dami ko maalala. Pero hindi yon. It's not compiling. Para magiging basic sa'yo, it's like in addition, or you don't mind addition, but you know how to add. It's, right? So it's like, it will be your passive ability to formulate the lines. Okay po? Alright, so if you know the coordinates, the increments, okay, distance formula, basic that one, because there is delta x and delta y, then you will add that one, then radical. Okay? And then what else? Midpoint, okay. But in this part, most likely in your equation of the line, the next topic, in the recorded video, the only thing that will matter is coordinates, increments, and slopes. Only that one. Okay? Parallel and perpendicular, that is one of the forms in order for us to know if we are going to graph. Okay po? And take note, is this the last meeting that we'll be having for this week? This is the last meeting, isn't it? My bonus This is my bonus tip in examination. Please prepare your scratch paper. Okay? Scratch paper. Ano yung mga reaction yan? Ay, ganun. Ano yan? Nang ganon, Alright. Hindi, for the calculator, this is the thing. We could use the calculator if in algebra, in what do you call this one? In advanced math, most likely if you are going to find the 50th term, it's too big, so it will be hard. No, but in calculus, most likely it's just points. You can really tell to yourself na kahit hindi mo na hindi ka na mag-calculator, madali lang talaga. Kasi it will not go further to what you expect. Hindi na siya abot ng negative 120 sa ano na. So, pero pwede mo. Pero pwede po ba sa calculus? Because this is the thing. I was like, on what part of my exam? Because I really cannot see the purpose of the calculators. Anyways, I will be the proctor, right? I will be the proctor for your calculus and advanced math, knowing that you are grade 10. I did sacrifice the the advisory of my advisory in grade 5. I sacrificed that schedule for you grade 10 so that I could handle you, no? All right, so this is the thing, no? In that day, prepare your scratch paper because this is the thing, no? During our exams, in my time, even in online, I have this situation. Like I really can manage to solve without calculator and solving in scratch paper. The only thing is after the items in the exam, 50 items. Then after that one, I thought it's done already. There is next question. Then then there is a question, please prepare your scratch paper. Anong gagawin ko? Wala akong scratch paper. So naghahabol ako, paubos na yung oras. O, mas maganda kung meron tayong scratch paper. Okay po? Alright, so at least. If that's the case, in my situation that time, I can solve really without scratch paper. But this time, even minimal, I could really see. Prepare at least one sheet of bond paper po. Okay? Okay? Tip na yun hindi ko kayo gugulantangin kasi kung hindi ko to sinabi, baka mamaya tapos na kayo sa 1 to 50. Okay, tapos na ako. O, ang babagal nyo, tapos na ako, hindi pa kayo tapos. Pagkita mo, saka, wala mo, kailangan pa ng scratch paper, wala kayong scratch paper, dali ka. Ulit, compute mo yung lahat. Alright, so prepare for your scratch paper. And, again, later please do watch. It is required for us to watch the recorded video lesson for the equation of the line. All right. So thank you for that one. Please, before you go, let us open our cameras. Let's open our cameras for we will be